back again. I'm jonesing for some football, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, you bet. But
Yeah.
this time we're focusing on a singular conference.
We are going to focus on the SEC conference right now because that's where our house is. Our house is inside the SEC. Our favorite team is inside the SEC. So we're going to run down who we think is going to be top to bottom in each conference. So we have SEC East, we have SEC West. At least for this year, we do.
Because it won't exist after this.
Because it won't exist after this year. It's just going to be the SEC as a whole.
Which I think could be a benefit.
I think that should be a benefit. That way, you've definitely got the top two teams playing for the championship at the end of the year. It's not best East, best West. It's best. But let's go ahead and start out talking about the SEC West. How do we think the SEC West is going to stack up from top to bottom?
The SEC West is really a race between two teams.
And we'll give the nod to Alabama.
For right now.
Because it's Alabama. Again, until Alabama is not Alabama, we'll let them be Alabama.
Yep.
Last year, they did not win the SEC West, which was
a surprise. Because
LSU finished pretty strong there. But we will give it to Alabama. We'll say that they'll finish number one in the SEC West.
With a 10-win season.
With a 10-win season.
Because Nick Saban. That's the only word you can give.
Yeah, it is going to be. It's going to be a Nick Saban year. Again, they've got a brand new coordinator, brand new quarterback, brand new wide receivers, brand new.
10 games with this team, with brand new coordinators, brand new everything, that would already prove GOAT candidacy.
Yeah, as much as he's already done, this would definitely prove that he is who he is.
7 national championships. Who has won 7 national championships as a coach?
Not outside of basketball. Nobody in football, at least not in the recent future, no. Number 2, we will give a nod to LSU.
Because they're on the rise.
They may take the number 1 spot. If there is a downfall to Alabama,
LSU will probably take the throne.
LSU could be the team to do it this year. They could be the team if they knock Alabama off the SEC West throne 2 years in a row.
They're there to stay.
They're there to stay. LSU may be there to stay. The new coach comes in.
Brian Kelly
comes in and in 2 years takes the SEC West.
Oh boy,
that's a little juicy, isn't it? Oh,
year
that'd be
after
fun though.
year, that LSU hire Brian Kelly looks good.
It does. They started out a little wishy-washy. Everybody's like, he's going to suck. They're going to suck. And all of a sudden, wait a minute.
Maybe we shouldn't judge coaches too early.
Maybe we judged him a little too early. Because after Tennessee whooped their butt, they looked like a re-energized machine. I think they gelled together a little bit after getting their butt kicked and decided they were going to play
some ball.
So I will definitely give that to LSU. Jumping into the number 3 position in the West,
Ole Miss.
We give the nod to Ole Miss
because of Lane Kiffin.
Some people have A&M.
We got Kiffin.
We got Kiffin and Ole Miss. Again, that is sort of telling on us that we got A&M next, but we give the nod to Ole Miss again because of consistency.
And Lane Kiffin addressed an issue on defense by hiring a new coordinator.
Yeah.
Alabama's older defensive coordinator, Pete Golding.
Yeah. So Ole Miss brings in an ex-Alabama coordinator, which is never bad.
Ex-Alabama coordinator
to join another ex-Alabama coordinator. So we have Alabama Part 2
and Ole
Miss. So as long as they can keep a consistent offense, I think their defense will be improved.
There.
I think their defense will be vastly improved this year.
As well as they improved their 30-point per game average last year, and Pete Golding can come in and improve that.
Mm-hmm. If you can score 30 points, you should beat most people if you've got a good enough defense.
And that's what Lane Kiffin, like I said earlier, is trying to address.
That's what they tried to address this time. So hopefully they'll be able to do that.
Sometimes a new scheme can help.
Oh, definitely. I think Lane Kiffin's got a good enough offensive mind to keep that 30, 35-point range right there. I think he does. It's the defense where he needs help with, and hopefully that's what he's got going this year.
Oddly enough, that's a different issue from our next team.
Texas A&M. We're going to put Texas A&M
They seemed a little offensively inept at times in previous years.
Yeah, but they also went out and
addressed the problem.
They got him a new offensive coordinator.
Bobby Petrino.
A well-known name. He may be a Looney Tune, but he's a great offensive mind.
He may
just
have
don't go bike
a
riding.
controversy.
Just don't go bike riding with him. But you do want him as your offensive coordinator. He's got a good offensive mind.
He turned Lamar Jackson into a Heisman at Louisville.
He did, he did. So I think that A&M will be improved. Now, they had some really bad turmoil last year. They lost half their team, I think, halfway through the year. Their team gave up on them.
Replenishing talent will be the goal at Texas A&M.
That's the thing that's got me questioning them. Is there enough talent left to do what they need to do? That again might be taking them from number 4 in the conference to number 3 ahead of Ole Miss. Do they have that talent left, that Petrino? I mean, is the team that stayed with them still the team? Are they still there? You know what I mean? Or
is Jimbo's time in A&M running out?
Will Petrino be is he the heir apparent? Something like that could happen if there's more issues with Jimbo. So there may be some turmoil there. That's why we're not putting them ahead of Ole Miss, even though they do have talent. Next, who we want to put behind?
Possibly, I would put maybe Arkansas.
Arkansas again. Their first year with their new head coach a couple years ago, they looked really good.
And compared to the previous regime, especially, it looked really good.
Yeah. And then they came into their second year, and I thought they would be a little bit better last year. They took a step back.
And
that's what's concerning.
And after that, Sam Pittman cleaned the sheet, if you know what I mean, with the coaching staff.
You go out the door. So yeah,
you go from a 9-4 season to a 6-6 campaign, and you're going to raise questions.
Yeah. And again, is it recruiting? Is it talent? Is it coaches? Because that was the same team that went 9-4. They went 6-6. So there's a lot of question marks with Arkansas. I think Pittman's a fantastic coach, but what happened? Something happened to go 9-4, 6-6, 1 year, 2 year. Although it does normally take 3 years for a coach to come in and establish blah 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 blah, smoke. But something happened to.
Let me tell you what happened. Arkansas's defense fell off a cliff.
Something happened, but
and they gave up the second most points outside of Ole Miss in the SEC West.
Yeah, but they probably do have the most potential of the bottom part of the West, though,
because they got KJ Jefferson coming back for another year, their star quarterback, and they got 2 new coordinators on both sides of the football that look to change things.
So that might be a good fresh start for Arkansas. Again, Arkansas could be surprising. A&M could be surprising. Ole Miss could be surprising. Those are the 3 that could, although I think LSU is going to be a dynamo this year. I don't know if any of those have what it takes to jump ahead of LSU up to the number 2 spot, or Alabama at the number 2 spot, or the number 1 spot, but we'll give it now to them. And probably right behind them, what do you think, Auburn maybe?
Possibly. Let's give it to Hugh Freeze and Auburn.
Yeah. Again, Hugh Freeze is coming in.
Off a team in a bunch of turmoil at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of turmoil going on. I think Hugh Freeze is a fantastic coach.
Hopefully he can fix his off-the-field stuff.
Can he fix all of that stuff? That's the question mark. It's really not a question mark, can Auburn play football, but can Auburn fix all the other issues and problems going around the program and everything. So that would be the only thing that...
Brian Harsin did not help issues with that.
No,
It seems like with this team, they got to get everything clicking early to get to that goal that they have for year 1, maybe a bowl game first.
Yeah, and we're actually putting Mississippi State down at
the bottom.
And you sort of have to. They lost their head coach.
Oh, the tragedy of Mike Leach.
The tragedy of Mike Leach. Mike Leach was a fantastic coach. And it's going to be hard for that transition.
It's going to be really hard. It's a unexpected passing first and foremost. And you realize when you lose a figure like that,
sometimes it's hard to
really hurt a team's
morale. It may take them 2 or 3 years to dig out of that, to be honest. So we have to put Mississippi State down the bottom just because of complete question marks all the way across the board. All right, let's go ahead and jump on to the SEC East.
And we got none other than Georgia starting us off.
You got to leave Georgia number 1 again. Until somebody beats Georgia, they're number 1.
Defense will be stout. The offense will have playmakers at the right times. That's Kirby Smart football.
But again, they are starting out with all new offense, all new quarterback, all new coordinator. So There's some question marks there. This will be where Kirby Smart earns his money.
Yep.
Right now, is can he take a complete new offense, quarterback and all, and make it look as good as Stetson? I'm not a Stetson Bennett fan. I don't hate Stetson Bennett. He was just a little too cocky for me, but he won. He's a winner.
He led
the team and he won. You can't ask for much more than that. Here's you a W every single week. So yeah, can they replace that with another quarterback? I mean, can they bring another quarterback in?
Could they bring in Dylan Raiola off the bench, or do they go to Carson Beck and be that guy for Georgia?
We don't know. That's something. See, that's question mark. There's not a lot of question marks in Georgia. Just a couple of ones here and there. But the quarterback is a big one. The quarterback and the coordinator is two. That's the two biggest question marks for me with Georgia there.
And then up next, a rival of theirs, Tennessee.
Tennessee coming off their best year
in a
since probably 2005. So their best season probably at least 18 years.
It's been a while.
I would think. Tennessee is returning probably
a good chunk of their team.
Tennessee does have, without a doubt, the most talented quarterback in the country. I think. The only question mark with
put it together
with him is can he do all parts of the quarterback? He's got the arm. He can throw 80, 90 yards. He can throw this. He can throw that. The only thing we have is sometimes he holds the ball a little long, like last year.
Tries to make a play when there's nothing there.
Yeah, and then his play call. Can he make the decision on what
SEC
throw to do?
You got to flick it like that.
Yeah, the SEC defense is as close to the NFL defense as you can get.
Speed.
A lot of speed, a lot of power in the SEC.
And you got to really get it out quick.
Because a lot of those players leave and go to the NFL under starters rookie year. So they were probably good enough in their senior year in college to play the NFL. So you got to make decision making quick. You can't take the sacks and you can't throw bad. Although he has not thrown an interception
in a while
and forever. He doesn't throw interceptions. So normally, even if he makes a bad decision, the ball just sails or is not on target. He doesn't make bad decisions and underthrow you. He ain't going to underthrow people.
That's going to be a guarantee. Put your $100 bill on that.
I'll bet you that. He's not going to underthrow people and throw 20 picks next year. It just ain't going to happen. His decision making, let's not take the sacks, and then Tennessee's defense is probably honestly.
That's the biggest question.
I've got some pretty. I'm pretty confident in Milton, to be honest. I think.
I have much more questions for Tim Banks, more so than I have.
Yeah, I think Milton should be the front runner for the Heisman, and especially with Squirrel coming in and then Dante, the wide receivers,
or at least be a candidate.
Brew McCoy. I mean, they've got Small and Jabari and all those. They got their offense just oozing with talent. Defense.
Tim Banks, this is his proving year.
They lost a big chunk of the defense with Byron Young, and they were 80th in sacks last year.
So they got to improve.
Yeah. Tennessee needs to be, now again, Tennessee's not going to be the number one defense in the country. Probably not. I'm not saying not going to be, but probably not. Just because the offense is on the field for such a short amount of time, your defense has to carry. Yeah. So it may take a few years for Tennessee to build up the depth across every position to where you can rotate players enough to keep them fresh as a daisy.
Yep.
So, when you're 4 deep with 4-star, 5-star players, then you can keep up that offense and it not hurt you too much. But I still think they're
a good candidate for an SEC East.
I'm not saying they're not going to beat Georgia. They could be. If everything clicks with Tennessee, they could have an undefeated season. They've got that much talent. But right now, we put them behind Georgia until somebody beats Georgia. Georgia's number 1.
So number 3, we got an interesting candidate. It's not South Carolina. It's Kentucky.
How about Kentucky being number 3 above?
They got
South
NC
Carolina.
State's, the offense struggled last year, so they went out and did what they wanted to do and improved it. Got a new coordinator in there.
They got a new coordinator.
And a new transfer quarterback.
Really, pretty good transfer, really.
Who leads NC State in passing yards all time, and Kentucky swapped him.
Yeah, it came over from NC State, came over to Kentucky, and he looks pretty good.
And Devin Leary will look to lead the Wildcats to at least an 8-win season.
There's a lot of people got little stars on some of the Kentucky games, and that could be Kentucky could upset them. Because Kentucky's got that much talent.
It's amazing what Mark Stoops has done to this football team.
He's such a good coach. What did they just sign him to a 6-year extension last year? I think.
And he didn't leave Kentucky.
He did not leave Kentucky.
True blue blood there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And
When the Oklahoma job came open,
he didn't want it.
No. Heupel stayed at Tennessee. Stoops stayed at Kentucky. The SEC is a pretty good place to go play, I think, and coach. So, but we will give it to Kentucky. We think Kentucky probably is
maybe a 9-win team at the most,
maybe,
because they have plenty of talent.
They got a tough schedule always, though.
The SEC always has that
the
kind
SEC's
of
always
tough
got
schedule.
a tough schedule. Yeah.
Coming up next will be South Carolina.
South Carolina's got a lot of hype coming from
Shane Beamer getting
from last year.
Beamer Ball.
Beamer
and
Ball.
You got
Yeah.
Spencer Snake Man Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. I think that they will be a good, strong team. I think they finished up strong last year, so they finished with a
same as Kentucky,
with
maybe
a lot
an 8
of
or 9 win season.
I think they're a good 8 or 9 win
this
season
SEC
team.
East is stronger than most other seasons with the SEC East.
Yeah. You could actually look maybe to the SEC East now as just as strong as the West.
Nice balance.
Who would have thought that would have happened after the SEC West was so dominant for years? But now the East
is catching up.
really, really fast. I think the East and the West are really even. Yeah. So I think South Carolina is going to be really good. I think they're going to have a pretty good offense. The defense again
could be a problem. The offensive line could be an issue at times. But
yeah.
Other than that, South Carolina seems to have a good piece of teamwork, a good piece of a team to work with.
Yeah. After that, who do you want to go with after that? After South Carolina, you want to do Missouri?
I will do Missouri after that.
Yeah.
Because Missouri, they desperately need to work on some things. I feel like they're stuck in that 7-win nirvana.
Mm-hmm. Now, Florida and Missouri are sort of maybe, I don't know, do you think we should put Florida above Missouri maybe?
I think it might be a tie, honestly, because they both have issues and a lot of problems to work out.
Florida's probably got more talent.
Yeah.
But
Missouri, this is a do-or-die year for Drake.
This is a do-or-die year for Dirk. So it might be a toss-up between those two spots, between Florida and Missouri.
They have talent, but Florida is only returning 4 of their 22 starters from last year.
And, that's
only 4.
If you're returning 4 starters, and
you got a transfer quarterback from Wisconsin in Graham Mertz, but I don't know how much that will help the team.
No, you don't know. Well, he's coming into a brand new team if there's only 4 starters returning. So there's a lot of question marks with Florida, even more question marks than
usual,
than probably all the other teams out there.
And Missouri's got a good defense, but the offense was anemic at times.
Missouri's always got a really good. They sort of lean on that defense a little bit, but their offense was horrible last year. It was just terrible.
That's being honest.
It
Even
was
Missouri
really, really
fans,
bad.
if you ask them, they'll tell you,
man, our offense stunk last year. But their defense kept them in a lot of games last year.
Luckily,
that
he did make an offensive coordinator change, so maybe Missouri could turn that table, but I don't know if I see that.
We could. And, of course, we got the bottom on the East as Vandy.
Vanderbilt is a team that I feel like could get to that 6-win threshold.
Now, Vandy, they went from what, 2
to 1-11 to 5-7.
They went 1-11 in 1 year to 5-7 the next year. So that's a huge jump. 4 games. I don't think they jump 4 wins this way to get up to 9. That would be a little crazy. But I do think they could get to 6 or 7 wins this year. See, and that's sort of where I put Missouri and Florida too, is right around that 7 to 8 wins. So
I think 7 at the most, in my opinion, for Vanderbilt this year. Just
probably 7, 6 to 7 for Vandy. Most Missouri could get 7 or 8. Florida could get 7 or 8, and then it's a jump up to South Carolina from there.
Yep.
But that's it. That is our picks for the SEC East and the SEC West, who we think's from top to bottom there. Be sure and let us know what you think about all of our picks too. Send us some messages, Let us know how we're doing. Hit the like, the subscribe button.
Groovy baby
button. And again, watch us on the new Severe.tv.
The new home for Austin Weekend.
The new home for Austin Weekend. And we'll see you next time.
See ya next time.